previous video, we discussed our favourite characters, and well, that kind of turned into a bit of a just for the girls, because we chose our favourites. You're Tash, I'm Amelia, and then we talked about Sir Jessica Dane. So we thought we'd give the boys a bit of a chance. Your favourite?
My favourite. I mean, it's probably going to be yours, isn't it? Brash. I mean, you want to say Brash. I think both of us love Brash. I mean, Brash is great, isn't he?
Yeah.
Brash is he's a little bit of a secret character because Brash on paper is the worst character in the game because he emphasizes charisma and kind of lore and kind of the stats which are often slightly sidelined, especially if you start in book 1, which is very physical. Brash looks like he's a real liability, but he secretly has, as anyone who's a veteran of the game will know, lots of occasions where he can just solve problems by just being brash.
Every so often, he can talk his way out of a situation that looks hopeless. And as you go through the books, book 3 is definitely a showcase in this. He really can get you out of a sticky situation just by having a chat. And that's more useful than you give him credit for.
Yeah, it's odd. I think, especially, there's nothing wrong with power gaming your party. It's play how you like. But it's very odd. Once you've included Brash in your team once, it's very difficult not to include him again.
Yes.
He has all sorts of, these little hidden benefits.
I mean, interestingly, Jessica has, Sir Jessica has a relatively high charisma skill. I guess she'd need to be, having had the upbringing that she did, a very noble upbringing. But, to be fair, though, to balance it out a bit for the boys, I'm also going to say that Akira is quite kick-ass because he has his own story in book 1, Valley of Bones, and if he is successful in becoming a sword saint in book 1, then he becomes a very useful character to have. I remember taking the challenge several times right at the beginning of the book and dying every time. So, I mean, you can pass those tests, or are they just utterly impossible?
No, you absolutely can. People have done it. It's slightly tricky. I think with Akira, just from a personality backdrop, I tried to represent with the men 3 classic male archetypes, but to do it in a slightly unusual way. So you have your alpha males, your beta males, and you also have the kind of the quiet types who are strong because they don't speak very often, but when they do, it means a lot. And Akira falls into that trope quite nicely. He's wise because he's world weary, so he doesn't. He won't just blather on unnecessarily. So when he's giving you advice, it's often quite good. And obviously he's our fallen samurai. He's a little bit Tom Cruise because he's trying to live in the shadow of his father and all those sorts of things. They're nice things to write about. And he has those statistical advantages. I think it's nice that he's a good fighter as well as having very high survival. Is useful in many of the books, so he's often an auto take. Lord Tiquan is my alpha male, which is most people don't think of wizards being you expect
the tank-esque type fighter,
the great hulking brute. Yeah. But Lord Tiquan is the guy who is absolutely sure of himself and self-assured. He gets a really nice section in book 3, actually.
Yes.
I had to cut out his plot point, and to my eternal shame, in book 2 because it was getting so enormously big. Sorry, everyone, for the book stops that you're going to be receiving if you've ordered book 2.
Yeah, it's quite a wedge. That.
Yeah, it is quite a wedge. But I had to cut his plot in book 3, so I was determined to give him a large section in book 3, and it's really good. You get to see a lot of his personality.
Yeah, I was going to say, it gives you a lot more of his character, which but then I think it's the same with Brash on paper. Not really that. But I think the challenge would be if you are not struggling, but if you are thinking about picking a team, I think it's worthwhile giving
give us some of the unlikely
Brash
ones.
and Teak on a go, because you'll be surprised, and they are a pleasure to play, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably enough to talk about them. And I can go to the nitty-gritty, but you need to discover it yourself. So,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck, and enjoy playing.